Penn State fans, my stomach drops. My heart breaks for y'all because y'all have been so assertively in the same spot, same exact tier for 8 years. You've been very good, but there's been just something holding you back from being great, and y'all haven't been able to get over that hump. But let me talk to y'all, the fans, the Penn State fans, man to man, mano a mano here. Y'all are what makes the sport of college football great. And I'm going to give y'all some encouragement because I think that y'all deserve it. Y'all are what makes the sport of college football great. Legit. It doesn't matter if Penn State is 5-7 or 6-6. I have doubts about the Penn State football team. I have never had a doubt about Beaver Stadium. It doesn't matter where they are. They will bring the atmosphere 105,000 plus. Y'all will. And y'all are in that category. I'm going to put y'all in with Nebraska, Auburn, Tennessee in years past, South Carolina, where it doesn't matter what outcome y'all are. Texas A&M, I'll put in there too. Y'all are going to bring your A game. That is what makes the sport of college football great. Because Penn State, in this 8-year span, with a 8-game losing streak to Ohio State, they've lost by an average of 7 points per game. They have not lost a game to Ohio State by more than 2 possessions in this span, multiple 1-point losses. They've been close. And if you're Penn State, man, in the era of the NIL, and the era in the future where athletic departments can potentially pay players themselves, with the support y'all are giving that program, big days are ahead. It will get better in Happy Valley. I'm confident in it. I believe in it. Speaking of the subject of Penn State fans, let me say this. This should have been a night game. I believe that. I'm not a guy who wants to have a lot of hot takes on the show. This one, I will put my foot down here. I say this should be a night game. And to Fox, the argument is you have big noon kickoff. Okay, here's an idea that I have. You call it the annual big night kickoff with Ohio State and Penn State at night. Remember, when the SEC was on CBS, they had the designated 2:30 slot. The designated 2:30 slot. But Death Valley at night is so unique and so unbelievably spectacular. I mean, Brian Kelly hasn't lost a night home game at LSU since he's coached there. Not one. That puts it in perspective. It's so good that Alabama and LSU, despite CBS having that 2:30 slot Central Time, was a night game every year. Who's to say, Fox, this isn't your Alabama LSU? This is your Alabama LSU. You call it the annual Big Night Kickoff because like Death Valley at night, there is nothing like a whiteout at State College, Pennsylvania at night. There's nothing like it. And the Penn State day atmospheres are great too. Like they bring it in the day as well. But in the night, man, there ain't nothing like it. That's my idea. I should say Fox should do exactly what CBS did with LSU and Alabama. Penn State, Ohio State, the annual Big Night Kickoff. Fox can do it. They've done a great job marketing Ohio State, Michigan as the game, as they call it. Who's to say this can't be the annual Big Night Kickoff? Boom. Right there. Ideas. I guess I'm full of them. Fox, I'll be taking contract negotiations soon. Just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about the game now. In terms of the game itself, look, there were times where I was watching Penn State and they would line up Warren at quarterback and have all of these trick formations and wildcat formations. And what I kind of read into open. What can Peyton Manning do in that situation? Really nothing, to be honest with you. And Penn State, the reason why they've had such a steady high floor, because their defensive line has been excellent, their run game has been excellent, but it's just that receiving core that has not delivered for them. They just haven't gotten the job done, to be straight with you. And that was the story with Ohio State. That was flat out the story. And that is, Jim Knowles knew, okay, this is what Jim Knowles basically said. We have the best secondary in the country, and we don't think there's anything y'all can do about it. That's exactly what Jim Knowles said. And guess what? He was right. There was nothing Penn State could do about it. There were times where Drew Aller, Davison Igmison, I cannot get that pronunciation right. Anyway, the Ohio State defensive back, number 1. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. My condolences. I'll try to get better at that. But Penn State's in the red zone. He throws a toss-up, a 50-50 ball. And guess what happens? The Ohio State defensive back rips it from him. He bobbles it, intercepts it. Is that Drew Aller's fault? No. He threw a 50-50 ball right where it needs to be. It was actually in his hands. That's the play call. But guess what? These Penn State receivers couldn't make a play on these Ohio State defensive backs. Interception, bam, going the other way. That was the theme. That was the theme, man. And Penn State only ran a play action 6 times for the whole game because the run game wasn't even getting going either. This offensive line from Penn State got annihilated. To be straight with you, they did. And that's why they lost the game. And Penn State's a good football team. I actually wouldn't be surprised if these two teams met again. I could see this being a 1v8 or a 2v7 in the second round. But if you're Penn State, you got to find a second option.